So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is not much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
Hello.
Oh.
Buongiorno.
Now? Hello?
Wow.
You know what I started watching this week clips of? Mrs. Brown's
What?
Boys. I think I'm going to start watching that show. It looks fucking hilarious.
It is. I love that show. I want to.
I've seen him interviewing on Graham. What's the name? Graham Norton. And they're just hilarious together. Hi, Darcy, and welcome back.
Hi, everybody. I sound like
I'm
Dr.
changing
Nick. Hi, everybody.
I'm going to change my picture here.
Yeah,
I was
please.
going to say, you look like you're frozen in carbonite, Marcel. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm back, guys.
Well, no, I just found a picture.
It was a long vacation. I wouldn't even call it a vacation, but had an incident back in September, and which put me in the hospital for 35 days.
Wow. He was in a coma?
Threatening situation that
They put him in a coma.
Yeah, they did that. They gave me some pretty crazy fucking drugs too.
Did you see the light?
But the funny thing is that I did. I was trapped. I was in a cage in India, and everyone was looking at me like I was some pet.
Cool.
It's crazy. I tried to wake myself up from it, but I couldn't wake myself up from it, so I just went with it. But I end up going in for routine bladder surgery on the 7th of September, and then came home and got deathly sick and started puking up my stomach acid, which is not good. And what happened was I took a hiatal hernia, which is when your stomach falls down into your intestines and twists, and they literally only have 8 hours to get you into surgery and get that fixed before your stomach dies.
You go bye-bye.
So I lost, I didn't get there in time, and I lost a third of my stomach. So that kept me in the hospital a long time. And then they had to fix my esophagus because I was vomiting up stomach acid, which is really corrosive, and burnt 4 holes in my esophagus, which is not good. So
what you're saying,
tubes in my nose.
But what you're saying is your asshole ate your stomach. You were that hungry.
Basically.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. But they kept me in there for 35 days I was in there for. Wow. And then when I got out, it was touch and go for 6 weeks because I had to go to the hospital in Truro here twice a day to get intravenous antibiotics. And then I ended up with another bladder stone in amongst all this again, and got really sick from that, and ended up back over there again, dealing with the same shit. So, knock on wood, I've been 2 weeks out any intravenous antibiotics. They took my PICC line out, which is a bonus, and now I'm kind of on the... Oh, I still have another stone in there right now. They found out here a couple of weeks ago a 6 millimeter stone, which when you think about it, that's quite big for a stone. You ain't peeing that. That's for dang sure.
Mary
now
Jane's dressing like a happy crackhead now.
You're not doing crack, are you, MJ?
No.
Whack, you know. Although Rick James said he's a hell of a drug.
Well, it's funny because crack wasn't killing people the way fentanyl is.
No, that's a hell of a fucking drug, dude. In the hospital, that stuff is whoa.
I just figured I'd show up a little festive.
Well, you're very festive, MJ.
It's the first, right? It's the first.
It is.
Do you have an advent calendar?
No, you just reminded me I did not buy one for my kids yet either. Shit. Double chocolate
We might
tomorrow.
want to get out there and then. Yep.
They're expensive, those calendars, man. I saw them listed.
Yeah, I buy mine from the dollar store. My kids don't care about like.
No, I meant the adult ones.
Oh, yeah, they're like, I don't even know.
$2.50.
I'm hoping to win one.
Seen were two. Yeah, well, the ones that I seen that all my friends get around here, they're $2.50. But you get everything from Shatter.
I've only seen the 24 J's. Is it the 24 J's for 24 days or something?
Yeah, well, I got a number of a medical site on there, and they sell them and they got everything there.
2.5s. They're not even grammars.
Yeah, but honestly, I like a 0.5 joint. I prefer a 0.5.
What do you got in there?
In here?
Yeah.
It's a strain called Citrique.
Oh, cool.
Just the last of it. Makes me sad. But I color-coded it. That's why it's in the yellow. Yeah.
That's smart.
Do we have music, or am I like hearing things?
Somebody's got music in the background. Carla's probably watching TV.
Okay.
She is, but you can't hear her because she's in the bedroom and the door's shut.
Actually, no, it was me.
Who's playing the music?
It was me.
Uh-huh.
Huh. See?
Now we'll probably get clipped. Damn it.
I would say it's nice to see you, Darcy, but I can't see anything but myself, and I don't know how to change that.
What? Well, you do have the buttons to do it, you know.
No, I don't. You say that to me all the time.
I gave you the buttons.
Just because you gave me access doesn't mean the buttons are on my computer.
They're there.
They're not. Whoa, is Marcel? Oh, he's a dragon. Yeah. Who rolled that, Marcel?
Not Marcel.
I don't know, but isn't it awesome?
You know, I was asking because I just seen an announcement. Who was it? Cody Van Gogh just announced on the Disciplined Stoners podcast that the Can Expo this year is going to have like the best rollers, like world class rollers and shit. Okay, maybe it's just Canadian class rollers. I don't know, but I'm excited because there's going to be people there that can do that stuff.
We will be there for CBG TV.
Are you going to come down?
No, but I'll be in Al's pocket.
Well, I'll stop by because I'm going, so I'll hang out at the booth for a bit.
Irene and Al will be there, and we'll be doing what we usually do, and we have a booth that they've been happy to allow us to be.
They've set up with you, yeah.
Yeah. We're a media sponsor, and
I gotta say I'm excited for Can Expo this year.
You know what? I'm excited too. Although I wish I could go, but you know. It is what it is, right?
You could try and make it.
Doing remote stuff this whole time for the most part. So, you know, I'm used to it. And I'm not walking around very much these days. So, you know.
I know. I got spoiled because when I came into the radio show, that's when you like moved down to Toronto and I got to see you live.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
So we got the chat up. If you're listening, say hello. Welcome Darcy back. There you go. You can welcome Darcy back.
I'm sad we don't have Darcy on screen though.
The man just got my thing 35.
He was on screen.
Was he?
I was, but then I see my look.
Yeah.
like it all my crazy. I got a new scar that goes. Well, I ain't got a shirt on. That's the first thing, and I ain't putting one on. So that's why my camera's black.
Okay,
I got it hot,
Randy.
I got it hotter than Hades in here.
He
So
wants to be
And it
he wants to
dries.
go up to be a Randy.
No, I'm
Well,
just
where's
trying
Lennie?
to.
I was hoping
I got
to.
it hot.
There's a hockey game.
Of course.
Is there?
I wanted to ask him about Kind Fair coming up. I couldn't remember the name of the cannabis strain he said that they were going to be. They were sampling
Hey,
it.
you need to get a pack of
girl.
them collector cards.
Collector cards? What collector
They're doing a
cards?
contest on they shared their Instagram page. They're doing like a contest where two packs of these collector cards got a green card in it, and that green card wins you a trip to Truro, and you get to come to our facility.
Do we get to run through the field? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, run down the aisle, I guess.
If you want.
You don't want to
Always running
run
that
because
place.
you got to be safe. You can't trip and fall and knock over the plants. So just saying.
You ain't knocking them plants over. They're
Right.
So think of a warehouse, and think of the racking in a warehouse. That's what our plants sit in.
Well,
in
I
trays.
don't think you're allowed to go in there if you're not like I couldn't come for a tour and just walk through the garden.
I'd like to know what the security clearance is
Well,
on that, because I've seen a lot of photos and videos of people that are in the cannabis space that are just like standing in the aisles of the warehouses, and it's like, cool. I love that you're there, but like, I want to go too. Like, do you need some sort of clearance?
We're not allowed. Pictures out back. Only certain people.
I didn't.
Only like your supervisors are allowed to have their phone. If you're not a supervisor, then you get caught with your phone. You get in big trouble.
Are you back at work already?
No, I won't be back to work till after the new year.
Cool.
It's hard to sit up all day, Al.
Yeah, me too. I last about 2 hours, and then I need
Up
a
in
nap.
the morning, and I get up in the morning, and by about 12:30, I'm laying down till 3.
It'll get better, bud. Once you get
Oh, I
more
know it
active,
will.
you'll feel better.
That's just it. I do, like I said, I finally allowed to have a shower. It sucked, but having to have a bird bath every night because I had pick line in which I
I
couldn't
was in
get.
the hospital. It was 10 days, and that was for my hand because it was all the blood. I broke all the blood vessels in my hand punching somebody out, and I hemorrhaged, and it just kept going. They couldn't stop the bleeding, so I was there for 10 days, and walking around like this, and
I was saying hi.
yeah, but I didn't mind. The food wasn't bad. It was Sunnybrook. Sunnybrook's pretty good,
Actually, the food in the VG at the Centennial Building now, you get to pick what you want. So,
Oh, really?
it's menu for regular. Their menu for regular food is really good. Like you can get macaroni and cheese. They have shepherd's pie pizzas. They have salads. They have smoothies.
Oh, cafeteria macaroni and cheese is the best.
Oh, dude, their macaroni is awesome. The worst thing was I was only allowed to eat a portion the size of a deck of planks
Yeah, ain't
because my
happening.
stomach, right? Because you got to stretch. I'm still that way. Like I eat one fish cake and a handful of French fries and I'm full.
Well, it's good for your weight.
I lost 45 pounds, dude. I went from 20165.
Wow.
Like I lost all the weight that I had retained legs. Like now they're just skin and bones.
Well, that's not a bad
Crazy.
thing.
It's not, but it makes it a lot harder to stand up now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really funny. I actually followed
Considering
Furrow,
standing up
and
before was so easy.
I can't find them.
Who?
I hate social media. I literally follow Truro Cannabis, and I couldn't find it on my
That's
searching.
happening more and more and more and more. I'm finding that I actually have to look somebody up as opposed to they're just there.
And how am I supposed to remember everybody's friggin' tags?
I know, eh?
Like, why don't you just
I'll
make
tell
your
you,
tag,
guys-
your Instagram handle, your name, like I do, and people can find you.
Because not everybody's
It's-
you.
I have an
Under
easier
Truro
solution.
Canna
I have an
LP.
easier solution. I have a much easier solution. I just don't use it. And I have an Instagram account, but I don't use it. I don't even know how to get to it.
I just post stuff for the station, and it gets my pictures. That's it.
Check out
I keep getting notifications that people
Okay.
follow me, but I don't know
page,
why.
right?
Me too.
It's Facebook. I don't see it on Instagram. So
I post more pictures
no.
of my cat and my dog on Instagram than I do anything else. If you want to follow me, you go right ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never should have made fun.
Instagram's going to be the most boring Instagram out there.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't find it. I mean, I should have never made fun of my dad when I was in high school. I was like, what? You have to check email and you're bitching about that? No, I was like laughing at him because he didn't know how to check email. And I legit get frustrated over fucking trying to, like, I can't find my friend on here. I'm like,
Has anyone seen that game, that mushroom game? It's cards, kind of like what you just posted there, Darcy.
mushroom game.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, Marcel?
Check our messenger out.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, next time I see it, I'm going to save the link. I keep seeing it in the reels or whatever, and it's informational entertainment game about kind of like trivia or something like that, but it's all about mushrooms.
Oh, that's nah.
Oh, I see what this is. Now it makes sense, Darcy. It didn't make sense before. So for those of you that were wondering, Truro Cannabis is doing something special at the Kind Winter Fair this year, where you can pick up a pack of collectible cards, and there is one green ticket inside, and if you find that ticket, you win a trip to the Truro Cannabis facility as a guided tour. So I just want the cards, to be honest. It'd be cool to find the green thing, but wait, does that include flight?
I'm assuming so. And likely hotel.
It would have to.
Right? Because they're
And you might
advertising
think
in
of food.
Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario's on.
And your cannabis?
Advertised.
Just kidding. Just kidding. No cannabis included. Just the tour. I don't want to be charged with false advertising.
Only way I found
And
it
I should
was
say, in no
to, like,
way.
follow on Instagram and
You found it? I didn't even find it, even though I went looking for it.
yeah, we're under Truro Canna LP. That's their hand.
On
Yeah, it looks like Truro Can Nip. Is what it looks like.
Some of the short forms that people come up with, like for What's Up Toronto magazine, it's whooped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost
Like
as
that
bad as
too.
those Taylor Swift bracelets. Everyone's putting like
I've
Taylor.
been marked safe from anything Taylor Swift.
Apparently, yeah, I'm not a fan, but they had apparently they're doing bracelets and exchanges of bracelets at these concerts, but they're doing initials. Like, so if you have a sentence, it'd be like, "Will you go out with me?" It would be like WYGOM. But then people are getting ridiculous and writing like full phrases. So if you ever see something where it's like WJKLMN 7
that
like
what that
all
is?
these things, they're trying to give you a sentence and you got to figure out what the fuck it is.
Yeah, those are anagrams, and I'm not into them at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I just play Wordle.
I can't. With dyslexia, I can't do the best I can do is Tetris. I'm a mad Tetris player.
Okay.
I love Tetris. It will consume me for hours sometimes. I remember, I was up at my mom's house up north there in Primrose, Ontario, and she would bring home computers every winter and summer for the holidays for us to learn how to use them and use them. And we had the original Tetris game. So when I went home, I was addicted. I went out and bought a Game Boy and bought Tetris because it came with Tetris at the time, right?
That was the best.
Yeah.
Little green screen.
I have one of those 1001 game boxes, and I play Tetris and Dr. Mario. I like Dr. Mario as well. That's that spinning pill thing.
That's very much like Tetris.
Yeah, very much like Tetris.
Yeah. There's like the Mind Master games or whatever.
Lately, I've been playing backgammon with people I don't know, and golf. Just little putt golf game that you play with people on your list that I don't know. So
I just found out I have access to Flight Simulator on my computer. Oh, I can fly planes.
Oh, nice. What, Microsoft?
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
my kid's got my hooked up. Well, it's linked with my son's Xbox.
Nice.
He gets like all kinds.
So
all
you
he
can,
has
play,
on his
you
Xbox.
can play whatever games he has on his Xbox, eh?
Yeah.
On your computer. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's funny. He's in the other room going, Dad, I want to play. Get off.
David, man.
He streams a lot now, MJ. He makes a couple bucks. He's making a couple bucks streaming, and I totally never make any money at it. And actually, he's making money at it, so he kind of turned me into it.
How's he doing that? Like just from people watching him play, or?
Yeah, people subscribe to his channel.
Nice. I've been telling my kid to do the same because my kid has been creating video content for video games and like walkthroughs for years, and like one of his videos has like 700 views, and people are asking him to do like a more in-depth like tutorial. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, dude, start a fucking channel and tell them you want the in-depth tutorials, you need to pay for them.
We decided to do this to try and make some money to help pay the bills for CBG. But
well, this is more than just to make money. This is a tool for all cannabis.
No, I realize that.
I was like, put that back up. Let's talk about what it is.
Well, hold on one sec. One of the things that this platform allows us to do once I have it set up, because we're still kind of just farting with it, is you can do subscriptions and tips. So as well as on Mixcloud for the station, you can do tips and DJs can get a tip or whatever, right?
Yeah. And just so everybody out there knows, I mean, we don't live lavish lifestyles. It's not like we're going to take the money and go on trips. We're literally using the money just to sink back into the radio station so we can keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've sunk a fair penny of my disability check into this thing, I tell you.
You've been keeping us afloat for years, Al.
Well, I'm trying. But I like this new format. It's working good, and we've got CBG TV.com. It's all been updated with the new player, and I think Al is doing pace as well, updating it, and I've already updated mine. So you'll be able to watch whatever we do right on our website now, or you can continue to do it on our social networks. So sometimes we're a little more interesting than other times.
I have a question about that thing you sent me today about the auto show. Does CBG TV want to go do something at the auto show?
Possibly.
Okay.
I know. That's not something Al or Irene would want to go into the city for. But I thought, if you are going or want to go, then you can go and
it looks like I'm actually going to be in Toronto the day before. So I might as well just stick around and maybe go pick up some B-roll.
I've always enjoyed the auto show. It was something that my mom and I did when it came to the city. I would actually come down from up north to go with her. Yeah. And it was always fun just to walk around and look and see what they have. And
Oh, I love cars. As soon as you said auto show, I was like, yeah, I want to go to the
usually
auto
get a
show.
lot of shit too, right? So
Yeah. They have a huge, like a Jeep thing this year that they brought in last year that they're bringing back. So I'll be checking that out on the 15th of February.
You might get to see a Cybertruck.
What's a Cybertruck? Is that Tesla's the fucking bulletproof one?
That's their pickup truck, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm like, I almost feel like to own that truck is basically like why would you need, like, there's no reason why you would need it other than I want that. Like a guy, like, I want that toy. I'm going to buy that toy.
Base model starts at 61,000.
Right?
And 0 to 60 in 4.2.
Wow.
I still don't like the idea that if I drive a Tesla, that you have to put in where you're going. Like, so that way it tells you, hey, if you're going from here to Montreal and back, you should probably stop here and charge for X amount of time. Or else
they have a charging station right. They have two different charging stations right in the center of town here because we're right on the highway, right on the Trans-Canada. And so we were, Dean and I were out shopping, and I said, I wonder how long it takes. So we stopped and we actually asked an older couple that was there, and just had plugged in, and they were walking by us. So Dean asked how long it takes, and she said, it depends on how far you want to go. A couple hours will take you a couple 100 kilometers, basically. But up here, I don't know if I'd be too, because I mean there's times when you've got 2 hours in between little towns, never mind a place that might have a Tesla charging station, right? And I from what
but who wants to sit for a couple hours and while it charges? Like, what? I got to go shopping at the mall, sit in my car, like sleep.
I mean, there's a view. You can go golf. You can, walk, go see the waterfall, and go into the woods and say hi to a bear. But
I'm too impatient. I want to get my gas, get back on the road. I got things to do, places to be, people to see.
Well, we have skiing here in the winter. There's the signs are already up for the snowmobile roads, and they just disappear into the forest, and you just keep going, right? Yeah. So I haven't been into the forest over there yet.
We have that all over here.
Yeah, it's all over Canada, all over the world. I'm sure at some point where there's snow, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure some
places down here, they're groomed trail to pay to get on them.
We have park systems that you have to pay to get into. Some of them, Darcy, but like in just between what's the town there? Dundalk? No, what's the town that's where I get off on the highway to go to the farm? MJ. The name of the
Welcome?
No. Anyways, halfway between there's 3 different park systems that you can go in. It's all crown land. You can't hunt, but you can ride your horse, you can ride your bike, you can ride all your scooters, your snowmobiles, whatever you got, right? Yep. And they're all over the place here too. Just not as formal.
We've only got the Trans-Canada Trail.
Up north.
What's that, Darcy?
I said you have a lot of them up there where you're up north. You get a lot more snow than
you don't really need them because you just go off the highway and go into the bush. You're just safer if you stay on the trails, right? Yeah. There are trails that go from here to the next town, to the next town, to the next town. The kids, they take their quads, they take their snowmobiles, and they go visit their friends in the next town. But a 20-kilometer zip to the next town on a snowmobile through the woods would be pretty exciting and take you a while, I would think, in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
I don't know if they groom the trails here. I see the signs up. I know that the area over by the waterfall, you can't get in there once it starts snowing because they don't do anything. There's, like 4 feet of snow you got to go through.
Your snowshoeing in if you want to see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do that. It's too dangerous. It's not maintained. I mean, you could fall right into the, where, into the gully or the gorge.
Yeah, that would suck.
Right. Well, there's stairs that go down to the platform, and they're not maintained. So, I mean, that'd be pretty dangerous. I don't even go down. I took my sister over there. She came up for my birthday, and she was the only. Dave was like, "No, I'm not going down there." I was like, "I'm not going down there." Sharon was gone for about 20 minutes. She came back all huffing and stuff. She says, "Damn, that takes a while to walk up there." The going down's fine. It's the coming back up.
It's like tobogganing.
Yeah.
Yes. Something I used to love doing. And there's lots of places to toboggan here, of course.
Oh man, tobogganing's the worst. You toboggan when you're young. It's fun. You remember it. Mm-hmm. Then you get older, and I had children, and I was like, hey, tobogganing. So I bought everyone crazy carpets. The kids are too afraid to go down the hill. So I'm like, Mom will show you how it's done. I pretty near broke my fucking tailbone. Landed on my hip. I was like, I had to like pretend that it was fun when I got up, and then I wasn't in any pain because like my kids are looking to me to tell them it's fun.
Have you ever gone to the Riverdale Park?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. I think in Toronto,
the road from there.
Yeah, I'm like, if you live in Toronto and you haven't gone to Riverdale, you have to. Summer, winter doesn't matter.
That was the place to go. But then in the 80s, people started getting hurt, so they put trees up so that you wouldn't use it as much. And now I think they've removed some of the trees and they've left an area for kids to toboggan. But it's not what it used to be. Back in the 60s and 70s, it was just fucking willy-nilly. Here we go. Let's go. If you break something, you're in the...
That's funny you say in the 80s or in the 60s. I was born in the 80s, and I remember it was like late 80s, and I remember my dad taking me to like Victoria Park area, and I remember sliding down the side of this hill, avoiding the trees, and trying to make sure that you rolled off the sled at the bottom of the hill so that way you didn't go out past the sidewalk onto the road. And that's where you had to go because you're in Toronto. Where else to go?
There were key parks that you could go to. High Park, Riverdale, both sides of the highway. Yeah. The side with the zoo on it wasn't as great because there was baseball diamonds that you could slam into. And then there was the park that is right downtown where they play a lot of baseball there. There's a good hill there. I can't remember the name of it. It's right down Queen Street, Dundas.
Well, Toronto's one of the most busiest cities with all the high rises and houses and whatever. It's hard to find empty land that's a hill.
I was just looking at pictures because I grew up in Toronto. I was just looking at pictures because I'm a member of the Vintage Toronto group, and there's a picture that they posted of the CN Tower already built, but that's the only thing that was there. And I used to ride my bike down there and watch them on Saturdays. We'd find a bench and we'd just sit there, and then we'd ride back home, and then we'd have lunch, and then we'd ride back down again. It was the thing to do. Go up and down Yonge Street, up and down Yonge Street, up and down Yonge Street. That Mike Myers scene is actually what was going on back then in Wayne's World. I mean, that's what we did. There was a candy...
Yonge Street?
Yonge Street.
Riding down Yonge Street?
Up and down.
They made that illegal.
Not in the 70s.
Yeah, they made that illegal.
Not in the 70s.
No.
No.
Actually, I think it was in the late 70s. What had happened was somebody had wiped out on the hill. On the
coming
bike.
Down St. Clair.
And
I remember that.
Yep. When the ambulance stopped to pick him up, the ambulance was facing downhill with the back doors open, getting ready to load him in, come over the hill on a bicycle and hit the back of the ambulance and flew through the windshield.
I always thought that was
And
a bunch of bullshit because we heard about it, but
yeah,
when we did the bike-a-thon, we went up and down that fucking Road hill, and it was just as steep, and nobody was ever hurt.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, on a bike rally though, it's a little controlled. Just
Oh, on a
idiots
bike,
out on a bicycle going as fast as you can down that hill, right?
I grew up
The guy
going
that
up.
hit the ambulance had no chance.
It was, that happened pretty much in front of Chum AM and FM. That's where that happened. Right at
1050?
the steepest part of the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still remember that 1050 chum.
We
That
used
was
to
the best.
We used to sit and we would walk by because you could walk by and look in the window as they were doing their shows, right? And we would watch all of the city TV people that went from Chum to city TV. Even Scruff Connors started there, right? And we would watch them do the morning show on Chum FM, and they would come up some pretty fucking
Through the window.
huh?
Through the
Which-
window?
Yeah.
Through the window?
No, they would come out and they would have their mics outside. They would be, doing their thing. I mean, Q107 tried to do the same thing down at Dundas and Young in the 90s, but in the 70s and 80s, the Chum FM studio was really cool because you could walk right by and watch Deanie Petty doing the morning show, or what's the other girl name? I can't remember the other girl's name. Things.
Wasn't MTV's like that too?
Yeah,
in
MTV
Toronto?
was like that too, down on Queen Street. Yes,
You mean much music?
well, yeah, Much Music. Sorry,
Yeah.
but you see,
Yeah, Much Music.
I
reason
was like, we don't have MTV.
Sorry. MTV's US.
the reason
Yeah, that's the States. The Canadian version.
Yeah.
I want my MTV. It was all Moses Neimer, eh? So I mean, Chum he started that, and then he went down and did Much Music, and now it's all Bell owns it now. I think Bell owns Much Music and all of that
Yeah.
Chum stuff now. But the old 1050 Chum sign we were talking about is now on the very back Adelaide side of is it Adelaide or Richmond? One of them of Much Music. It's on the back of the building, the Bell building, as they call it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there was some awesome shit. I saw Meatloaf, Intimate and Interactive, in the studio there. And if you watch it, you'll see it. He's sitting in the front row with big bushy fucking afro hair. Yeah, it was Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, I am proud to have grown up in the city of Toronto. I mean, I grew up in Yorkville, for fuck's sake, and but I don't see myself ever living back in the city. I don't miss being in the city other than I could go to a movie or go to a restaurant or something. Like, there's nothing here. A 3-hour drive up to Thunder Bay. I miss that. Going to the theater,
Yeah. No, I won't. I spent the 70s in Halifax, Dartmouth. I don't need to be in any cities anymore ever again.
Well, you don't. You have only a couple big cities there, right?
Yep, that's enough. It's enough to make you hate any city. I hate going to cities like Toronto, Vancouver. I mean, I've been to them, but I don't like it.
See you there.
Pardon me?
I know you have. I've been there with you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a city person. I would rather have nature.
Well,
Give me trees. Give me water.
the nature that you see here is the nature that I thought I would see at the farm.
Yeah.
It's much different here. Bears literally in my backyard. And
Yeah, but where your farm was, it was more of a rural area.
it was right on, and it was right on
Because
the highway. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
where
I'm
you are
right in
now is
town, but
butt
I'm
fuck nowhere.
right on the edge of the forest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in butt fuck nowhere. Like you're in
Yeah, and
the
you're
woods.
very north too.
and
North
and
Canada.
you're in town. You're in a town, but you're still in the woods.
When you sit in my backyard, you'd think that you were right in the woods still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though
And
there's
see
a set of
that
houses up on the hill and there's a park right behind me, right?
Yeah, so it's rare even in my town just to see a fox.
I live in a town, but I have a nice big backyard with lots of nature.
But you see deers
Right?
and stuff. I've not seen a deer since I've been here.
Really?
I've
Yeah,
seen
but
moose. We have
you've
lots
seen
of
moose.
moose. Yeah.
Do you leave apples? You should leave apples.
No, I can't do that because the bears. I sat for an hour and watched a bear cub, a black bear, playing in a tree across the street, my neighbor's tree, eating apples. It was really cute.
Is that why you don't have deer? Because you have bears?
That's what.
No,
No.
from what I understand, moose and deer don't cohabitate very well together. They'll live in the same area, but not in the same area, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like when you're
I've
driving
seen a moose. Moose don't blend well with anybody.
and they don't cohabitate well with other animals, so you don't see other animals with them.
So you
right?
get to do that when you're the biggest one in the forest.
Yeah.
And the one that went by us, like we were when Sharon was here with Dave, we were coming back from town, like the next town over, and this guy just come out of the bush right in front of us and just started walking along in front of us. I mean, we weren't in danger or anything like that, but I was just like, get your phone, get your phone, get your phone. And my sister's
It's a mouse.
Yeah, it's a mouse. My sister sees bison, which is really cool.
When I was in
bison? Oh, that is cool.
Herds of bison.
When I was in Cyprus, I went and spent time with the Swedish military, and they had this one Swedish guy who spoke pretty good English until he said he wanted to come to Canada to go moose hunting.
Mouse hunting.
I said, what? He said, yeah, I want to go to Canada to hunt moose. I said, mice. No, mouse. I said, you mean like Mickey Mouse with the ears? No, big antler, mouse. Oh, moose. Yes, mouse.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever got to come to Canada to hunt moose, but I hope so.
I'll give you some history of this town. This town is the town that Kimberly Clark chose to open their first mill in Canada. Kimberly Clark is Kleenex brand and stuff like that. I'm going to open the chat because we've been getting some chat in here. So, although they don't own the mill anymore. I don't think Kimberly Clark is even in Canada anymore because they've just actually stopped the sale of Kleenex brand here. You can't get Kleenex brand here in Canada. But they came up here and they built this town. And now we have several homes here. They call them Kimberly Clark homes because it's the same style of what they built for their employees. The town basically went from a trailer park to what we have now. And I'd say it's probably, I am 1.6 kilometers away from Dean and Elzora, and the town goes another click over to the tracks where one of the kids is, well, a couple of the kids are. So, I mean, you're probably looking at a 3 kilometer length of the town. You know, it's not that big. 1,700 people. I like to say 1,701. Because I'm new.
Excuse me.
So if you came into Terrace Bay
Township,
Ontario, and just stood on the hill in town under the lighthouse and screamed, "Ow!" I might actually hear you.
6 hours and 33 minutes to fly there from here.
It was 2-hour flight for David to fly home. Sharon had to fly into Winnipeg to get a flight into Thunder Bay. It's a 17-hour drive from Toronto.
It's 8 hour. It's an 8-hour flight to Vancouver.
Yeah. And
So
you know
an
what?
hour and a half
I
more to Vancouver.
highly
Well, I
doubt
think that's because I'd have to fly to Toronto. No, I'd have to
from
fly
there.
to
You
Toronto.
mean 8
Switch
hours
airlines.
from there?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I've done that flight so many times back and forth, man.
It's probably going to be about that. If I was to come and see you guys, I couldn't get a direct flight. I'd have to fly down to Toronto and then fly out there.
Right, and then get another flight, and that's why it's 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to switch flights.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking area. I
beautiful.
couldn't live there only
You'll see
because
pictures this summer.
it's but I couldn't live there because it's a much shorter growing season.
You couldn't live
And
here
I prefer
also
a longer
because
grading season.
it's also very humid here because we're right in the forest. So it's like
and it's not humid in Nova Scotia.
No, I'm sure. It is 79% humidity outside right now. It's 33% in the house, 77 in the greenhouse, and 31% downstairs.
Just hang on, I'm going to look and see what the humidity is outside right now.
It's usually outside. It's usually between 60 and 100%. I mean, it gets so
our
humid.
winters are drier than our summers.
Yeah, no, it's humid here all the time, dude.
For humidity.
Yeah, it's always humid here, right?
Yeah,
it's so humid in my house. When I have a really hot shower, it sets off my fucking smoke detector.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's a good smoke detector. At least you know you won't burn up the house.
Yeah, eh? Drives me nuts though. I'm having a hot shower. I'm like, yeah. You know, beep, 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 beep. Ah, fuck. You know.
All right, Al.
Yo.
It's 5 degrees outside and 96% humidity.
Here at your
right now.
or your place?
No, at my place.
Yeah, well, you would get the same kind of humidity as I get, even not more, because you're near the ocean, right? And the salt water is more humidity, is it not?
Yeah,
How far are you from the water, though?
When I take my drone and I put my drone up, I can see it.
I can see the water from my...
The only reason I can't see the water from my house is because of a few trees that are in the way.
Yeah, I see it now. I have a better view now because we were talking about this a few weeks ago. I have a better view
fall off
because
those are sweet. Nice shoes, Darcy.
Yeah, because the leaves are down, right? So I can actually see. I can see the island and I can see rocks and you know.
We live right at the head of the Bay of Fundy, so the wind and the water and surf, everything comes right up the bay, across where we are.
Yeah.
So we get more wind and more humidity than a lot of the rest of the province. But we also tend to get less snow than places like Darcy's the other day.
See,
Darcy sent me a picture of his yard and it was all white. So I sent him a picture of my yard. It was all green.
How far are you guys?
He lives an hour apart.
Yeah. Well,
with a mountain range between us, though.
I would go from my apartment in the city in Toronto up to the farm in the middle of the winter just to check on things, and there'd be 4 fucking feet of snow, and we had none in the city.
Yeah.
You know, Al went by there the other day. My trailer's still there, and there's another one.
St. John, New Brunswick.
That's how your snow belt runs, Al.
Yeah. Well, we're right on the snow belt there, right? So.
Well, in St. John, it's a lot of it's due to the fog. because I used to live outside of St. John, which was only like a 20-minute drive out of the city. Get up in the morning and it'd be 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
And by the time you got to St. John, there was none, because the fog off the river coming out basically just melts everything. It was awesome.
Okay, so it is
Makes snow removal easier. But this isn't very cannabis related shit.
Let's take a break. We've got a hell of a lag today. Let's take a break,
Yeah.
because I want to. Darcy hasn't been here for a while, and we made a little. Well, I made a little thingy for his grow segment, and I'm sure Marcel wants to bug me about my seeds. So we'll be back in a minute. This is the 420 Radio Show. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. What are you smoking? Tell us. We'll be right back.
Hey, Mary Jane Baker. No, I'm Mary Jane Baker. Wait, can we do that again?
Mary Jane Baker, take 27.
Hey, I'm Mary Jane Baker, and you're listening to 420radio.ca.
This is how
CBGTV is the way to broadcast your message to an audience looking for your products or services. Affordable advertising, personalized campaigns, special promos, event attendance, and more. Talk to someone today, in person or by email. Find us online at www.cbgtv.com. Or you can send an email to admin@cbgtv.com.
Announcing CBGTV's Bud Break book. Get your copy now. Detailed strain reviews. Every purchase supports the ongoing efforts of CBGTV. Available from Amazon and at cbgtv.com, or scan the QR code.
this is how we grow the weed.
Did you see that, Darcy?
That's cool. I like that album.
Wow. What the heck in a high basket's going on with the audio, man?
Wasn't me.
It's funny. Even Darcy's circle looked funny.
I'm innocent. Oh.
My circle looks
funny.
Darcy's got a funny circle.
Is that just me? I see Dale's circle and I see Darcy's circle, and Dale's circle is like a perfect circle, and Darcy's is like
That's because Darcy dropped his DP down to.
So
do you know who we haven't heard from tonight?
That's funny.
Who's that? Marcel?
We haven't heard from Dale.
Yeah, he
I
said
just heard
Dale.
He just chatted online. We just got a message from him.
Yeah, but he's not talking on here.
Here sometimes, I think.
What's going on?
Dale.
Oh, he does have a voice.
How's everybody doing?
Well, I wasn't sure. I'm here. I have cannabis questions.
Do we have cannabis
Why are
answers?
people? Do you hear what's happening in Germany?
No.
Yeah, I
What's
have
happening in
cannabis answers,
Germany?
Are we talking about pot, or are we talking about Germany?
Germany's.
Or are we talking about pot in Germany?
We're talking about pot in Germany.
Okay.
I just started reading this, and they're having another vote, but very much like Canada, where we have provinces, and some provinces, were upset with legalizing cannabis. They're having the same issues in Germany as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because one of the German states is threatening legal action against the government if they try and force this on them. But they're looking at having private-owned dispensaries,
like we do,
to supply.
Yeah,
like we do, in an effort to push out the black market.
And Australia's not doing so bad now either. They're really pushing now. They're coming up. They're getting ready to go. So what the hell was that?
I don't know. But then we still have countries like the Philippines that chop your head off.
Yeah, huh? That was last summer. Somebody got chopped from that, right? Was it last summer or a couple years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great things.
Okay, I don't want that. But
So Marcel,
hopefully Germany can sort it out. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
What?
I said tonight during my little growth segment, I'm gonna talk about the importance of pH in your water and how important pH is to your plants.
But why would pH be important, Darcy? I mean,
because without it,
pH is in all the water.
Yeah, but make sure it's at a certain pH where the plants can uptake the nutrients. And they can't uptake nutrients at 7.5.
That's probably why they have those pH testers and strips.
Yeah, the strips don't work. I bought a bottle of them strips, and I tested my water with them strips, and it said it was at 6.2. Yeah, it wasn't 6.2; it was 7.5. Wondering why my plants got locked out, and they're only just a little over 2.5 weeks old. And they got locked out hard.
Those strips are usually a little more accurate than that.
The ones that I bought, I'll give when I see your daughter tomorrow. I'll give them to her, and you can test them out.
Yeah, I used to get mine from my doctor because my doctor would write me a prescription for them.
Kind of like strips for your
and get those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where I got onto this topic for tonight was because I started some plants, and they were coming along great. And last week I noticed that they just didn't look happy, and I got thinking, well, the only thing it could be is my water, because I'm running blind here because I didn't have a pH meter or pH pen. Thank you very much. So I'm blind, so I got Dale to bring over his tester, and I tested my water, and it was 7.5. So no wonder I got locked out. So I dropped the pH down to 5.5 and flooded half of my garden. The other half of my garden I can't flood because another thing, don't ever buy seed starter mix from Pro Mix because it's garbage. And the other thing that seed starter mix.
Don't blame the mix.
Oh, it is the mix.
Don't blame the mix.
I think he's blaming where he got it from, who stored it, how they stored it, where they. Yeah.
Well, here's a little food for thought.
No, he's blaming the soil itself.
Yes,
well, I'm just saying that because I used to buy my Pro Mix specifically from BMA because I knew that they kept it inside, away from pests, away from things like that.
He also made his own stuff too. So
wait, so then technically you're to blame for the mix.
but the whole key is cannabis plants can do good with that soil mix, all right, as long as it's getting plenty of water to help wash away a lot of the nutrients that it doesn't need. Remember, the plant itself, that seed sends that off with a lot of its own nutrients. That's why you can put it into rock wool and grow it up to get some leaves before you start giving it food, right? Because there's enough nutrients in that seed. The seed starter soil, ideally, is much better for transplanting clones into. From the
would be because,
but you
get to soak up the
can
water.
Put your seeds in there, right? But don't take cracked seeds and put it in that soil.
What about the Floramax seed starter?
They have seed starter?
I mean seed starter.
I thought they did. Yeah, don't they?
No, you got nutrients called.
No.
You have a nutrient called resonant or root XS.
Yes. Isn't that a?
You can use that.
Use that yet.
No, I'm not using.
Yeah, but no, don't use it. No, it's not.
I'm
a
not
seed
using
starter.
anything yet.
Yeah, it's not a seed starter. Wait till the plants. Right. Wait till the plants come up a little bit before you start adding nutrients.
Well,
But
that's
for
what I was
Darcy's
saying.
problem, if you take right, but if you take your seed and you crack your seed and you place it directly into that seed starter soil, you're
Yes.
going to get nutrient overload.
If
you put it into a rock wool cube, let it grow roots,
Yes.
and then put it in that soil, it'll just flourish.
I'm still waiting to get to that point.
So Darcy, what did you do? Put the seed straight into that soil, or did you have rock wool or peat pot?
No, I put my seeds right into that soil because it says right on the bag, seed starter mix. So I assumed it was good for seeds. Then I got looked because I have a cube of soil, and I bought a cube of soil in the middle of the summer. I need to transplant over a few plants. Well, I still got about a little over half of that cube of soil, but it's in my garage, and I don't want to use it because it's already opened, and I don't know what crawled in there because my garage isn't airtight, obviously, and I don't know what crawled in there and got in that soil, or I don't know when my bay door is open, what's blowing around out in the air. Well, you're getting botrytis and powder mildew blowing around in the air, and it blows on that soil. Well, now it needs just that perfect environment. I'm introducing it to that perfect environment, and then bam, you're going 2-3 weeks and you don't see anything, and then all of a sudden you wake up next morning and there's powder. Well, where'd it come from? Well, my first thought is, well, it has to be my soil because it's the only thing that wasn't cleaned or brand new when I started. So then you got that. So I said, fuck it, I'll go buy some new soil. So then I went and bought 2 bags of this stuff. They only come in 9-liter bags. Well, I think you'd have to take it and sit it in your tub for a week for it to soak up the water. But then when it does soak up the water, it takes fucking forever for it to dry out. So
yeah, because it's made to retain moisture for seedlings. But
yeah, well,
you start a lot of flowers and stuff like that. You started a lot of flowers and things like that. That's the ideal soil for starting those flowers, right? And the reason being is the flower seeds aren't like the cannabis seeds. Yeah, you can start your dahlias in it. You can start your corn, your sunflowers, anything that, like, any of the seeds that grow outdoors, because they're getting fed as soon as they crack.
Yes, they are.
Right? They're used to that.
Tomatoes.
Whereas the cannabis seeds, especially when you start buying seeds have been genetically grown indoors for years, they're not looking for that high concentration of food right at the get-go. And when they don't need it, the other ones don't need it either.
It's already,
but they get it.
No, well, it already comes. That little seed already comes with enough food in it to do it for like 2 weeks once it cracks through the ground.
All seeds do. It's just that the ones that you would normally crack outdoors, that would crack on their own outdoors, like your marigolds and your corn and your sunflowers, those seeds are destined to be overfed right from the get-go because they're growing in the soil that they're taking the nutrients from anyways.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of rockwool. I'll put my seeds, started seeds into a rockwool cube, I'm a big fan of all the mixes after the roots have come out of either the peat pot or the rockwool. If the roots aren't coming out, I don't transplant them into soil. And I don't overwater the peat pots and the rockwools. They don't have to be drenched.
So now what I did. So now what I did to fix my problem is pH some water at 5.5, and now I got other ones drying out, trying to get them other ones to dry out so I can flush them. But everything else that was in the mix, I already flushed out. And you want to test your runoff to see where you're at. So what I did is I poured it through, let it at, brought me down to I was at 6.4, 6.5, but I want to go a little lower because I like right around 5.8, 5.9 for seedlings and veg. So now they're in there drying, and then tomorrow morning I'll flush them again and test that runoff, and that runoff should be down right around between 5.9 and 6. I'd even be happy with 5.9, but even 6 ain't bad. But I like it a little lower because they're uptaking different nutrients in veg than they are in flour. So that's why I usually run my flour at between 6 and 6.2.
Yeah.
For a pH. So, but I went out and got a pH tester today. So, yeah, it's and that was fun because to calibrate that one that they give you with it, you have to mix it with 100 mils of distilled water. Well, guess what? Boiling water does not distill it. Just to let people know, you want to collect that. And to get 100 mils of vapor,
Who did we just lose?
Takes you a long time.
Go to fucking Walmart and pick up a jug for like $2. It's a gallon jug of distilled water.
I got one,
and you can use that.
Now.
Yeah, distilled water is
distilled
water is water that's been boiled to a steam and then recovered back into a liquid. So all you have is nothing but hydrogen and oxygen.
Yeah, with a ppm of 0.
Stick their tongue out at me. Yeah, exactly. So when you boil water, what you're getting is sterile water that was already sterilized from all the chlorine and stuff, and concentrated levels of the salts and the ppm, because you've reduced the amount of water by boiling it. And that will throw off your pH meter.
Well,
and boiling water doesn't change your pH, does it?
Do the ones that you just stick into the soil actually work? Because that's all I can get up here.
The what?
It's about this big.
The ones that you stick where?
It's a probe, right? And you put it in the soil to check your pH, or I guess you can put it in the water to check your pH. I don't get how that works though.
I
understand the whole.
That's exactly what they are.
I understand the whole strip thing. I've done that before, but the rod just sits. Is it by electricity that it figures out the pH level? Is that how they do it? I don't know.
I know which ones you're talking about.
We'll find out.
How long would it take if you were to place an Amazon order? How long would it take for you to get there?
Me? Oh, it's not fast. It's not that bad actually getting stuff here. It's just I can't go into a store.
Okay, well, yeah, check on Amazon now.
I know.
If you go on Amazon to buy a pH pen, stick with anything over $45. Them cheap ones, you'll fucking keep chasing your tail and have to calibrate it all the time.
All right. Well, when I'm ready, I'll talk to you before.
Al?
Yo. Yes.
It is the electrodes inside a pH probe that measures the pH of the solution. The pH probe records a voltage from the hydrogen ions, and it is the pH meter that converts the voltage into a readable pH value by measuring the difference between the internal electrode and the reference electrode in the pH probe. So there you go. It's basically an electrical conductivity, much the same way that EC is done, but it converts it to pH, where EC converts it to EC, or eventually can be calculated parts per million.
Well, that I've always wondered, because it doesn't make sense to me that you can use it in dirt and just by putting it in the water. How do they do it? So it's got to be by magnets or electric current or something. Right?
So I decided I would look up the EC meter.
The EC meter.
And when the probe attached to the conductivity meter is inserted into the solution, electrical current flows between the electrons inside the probe. If the ion concentration of the solution being tested is high, the higher the conductance will read, which results in a faster current, and vice versa. And that's how you calculate EC.
Yeah. Neat.
So EC is how much food am I giving this plant, right? So your plant is being fed so many parts per million, which the part per million changes the electrical conductivity of the water. Right? This is so when you add nutrients to your water already has an EC reading.
Well, I know that
because there's
when
nutrients
you
in
add
your
salt to water, it changes the characteristics of the water, and you can tell by those tests, right? So it would be the same with
because
anything
salt instantly raises the EC.
Like sugar raises your AC1. Right?
Yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
The thing is most tap water should have EC of 0.2.
Huh. Don't know.
That
But
means
some may have higher and some may have lower. But when
everything that I've ever read. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Marcel.
No, go ahead, Darcy.
Most things that I've ever read and learned when it comes to EC is if you stick your meter in and don't read, you'll have a harder time for your. It'll strip out all your calcium, magnesium to make it so that your water has electrical conductivity. Because if you stick an EC pen in sterile water or like distilled water, it's going to read nothing. So in order to use a distilled water,
it should read.
Yes, which is what it should read. But in order to use a distilled water to feed your plants, if you just took your nutrients and mixed in there right now, your going to be what it says on the jug. So if it takes four mils per liter to get an EC of 1.3, well, likely double that to get that EC of 1.3 because it's stripping out all your calcium, magnesium to make it so your water's electrical conductive.
Right. What he said.
So, yeah. What were you going to say, Marcel?
No. In short, don't use distilled water to water your plants.
I was going to
use RO water, which is fine.
Water.
I was going to ask.
If you're
why?
You can use boiled water, which is perfectly fine.
Why don't you use distilled water? Because nothing's in there? Because there's no nutrients, anything?
There's nothing in it. Unless you've got a setup where you can monitor the pH and the EC to ensure that the EC of the water going to your plants is what you want it to be.
Yeah, you'll have to add. You're definitely going to have to mix in calcium and magnesium into that.
Your pH is going to be neutral, so you're going to have to adjust your pH,
which is down. Which is what I have to do because my tap water is coming.
All you have is
my tap at right around 7.
Right, so he can add lemon juice to his water to drop the pH or make his water more acidic. But at the same time, that will change the EC. Because you're adding another compound into that water.
Can you use just tap water?
That's what I use. I let it sit out for 24
Right,
hours.
That would be the
See, and
best thing to
A
use
lot
it
of
for.
people let it sit for.
That
a
was
lot of
my next
people let
question.
it sit
You
for.
have to let it sit.
Yeah, but
And
no.
why? Why do
In
people
all
let it sit?
honesty, no. Well, to get rid of the chlorine.
Yeah, if they've
Right? So
just hit the water, you don't want to
chlorine will
use the
gas
water.
off.
Yeah.
It just evaporates?
Why not?
No, we're not because
The
I
chlorine,
don't
yeah.
want to
I mean,
want to drink it when I
it
start
gases
tasting
off.
the chlorine, right? So I won't. I'm not going to give it to my plants too. I'm going to
Right.
wait and let it leach out, right?
Okay, so another experienced grower that Darcy knows as well, because he's even mentioned the fact that we haven't not used regular tap water, fresh out of the tap. I mean,
You use your garden hose.
if I'm mixing up nutrients for my tent, then yeah, that water's going to sit. But outdoors, it's
You
right out of the
told us
garden
last
hose.
year, dude, that you were using you use right out of the hose in your garden outside.
Yeah, yeah.
We have.
And
So
I do
what's the
too.
difference? What's the difference between water coming
We
out of
always
out
have.
of the hose and water coming out of your tap?
Not a thing.
So why do you
There is
let
no difference.
the water sit when
We
it comes
don't.
out
I
of your
don't.
tap?
I mean,
But when
if
out of the hose is just flowing. I don't get that.
Outdoors
but even
is
at
a lot
home,
different too, because
inside,
There's
it's not even a matter of indoor or outdoors. If indoors in my tent, I've got a grow set up and I need nutrients, I will fill up a 5-gallon bucket of water right from the tap,
Mm-hmm.
add my nutrients,
Mm-hmm. And then
check
let it
it,
sit.
and add it right to my plants. No,
Oh, okay.
add it to my plants.
Okay.
Right? I don't care about the chlorine because we have never seen a difference between using RO water and just regular tap water.
Okay. And that makes sense to me because you hear don't use tap water. Like why? I'm drinking it.
Well, if you're on your own well,
It depends. I
then
guess it
definitely
depends
have your
on where
water
you are.
checked.
I'm on town
Right.
water. Town water is fed from Lake Superior, which is fucking awesome water. It tastes great. Unless they're bleaching
Right.
that.
Well, they're always adding bleach. They're adding because they've got to sterilize that water. There's microbes in that water.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Of course.
So the water gets sterilized, so that the microbes are dead. Your EC, it's filtered, so your EC should be around 0.2. Your pH should be somewhere around 7 or maybe 7 up to 7.2 or so. All right, that's on municipal water. But you could be on a well, have a pH of 6.5 and 400 part per million of particulate in that tap water after filtration, right? Depending on what you have for filtration. So if you're on a well, by all means, go out and get yourself some testing equipment and monitor your water. If you're on town water growing in a tent, do you really want it? Are you really growing that tight of control that you need an EC meter? Maybe. pH meter? Assume your water is at municipal levels. And you can call the town and ask them what the pH is.
They would know pretty
they'll
well
tell you everything.
right out of the tap.
Well, they're monitoring it but they're monitoring it 24/7.
Yeah,
So
and
they
it's
know what the
just
pH of the
outside of
water
town.
is.
There's a huge tank thingy just outside of out of town. It feeds from the river, right? But you see, the thing is here, the town water feeds from the same source that the mill pours their crap into. That's why they are very, very careful with it.
Right, but the town water is probably taken from upstream of the mill. Most places do that, Al.
You know what? I don't know. I know
They
that
run pipeline upstream. Yeah.
I know it's just outside of town. I know.
They wouldn't take it from the downstream. Yeah, they wouldn't take it from the downstream side of the mill.
Yeah, definitely not pump. They're definitely not pumping the water where the
just be retarded
effluent goes
because
in.
you have a lot of waste product. But
all that effluent,
yeah, you can take a pipeline and put it upstream from the mill and run it directly into your facility to do all of your work to pump your water into your town.
Yeah.
Your water's safe. You're not getting not getting runoff from the mill.
And the nice thing is Lake Superior's the coldest.
And
of
if you
all
want to know
lakes,
the
and
pH,
it's always cold. So
yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
And
but
you're
if
the
you want to
deepest
know
lake.
the pH,
You're the
just
deepest
call
one
the
of the
town.
Great Lakes.
It's the deepest. It's the coldest. It is the most dangerous. And there's some shipwrecks out there, and
And it's the biggest.
It's the biggest. Yeah. Now, would I walk up down? Would I go down to the beach and get a glass of water and take a chug? I don't know. But
I'd bring my life straw.
There's a lot of little lakes around here that are off the big lake, in the bush and stuff like that, where the water is crystal clear. You can see the bottom. It's really cool.
How come my chat's not working now?
You know what? It stopped working.
I have nothing coming up on my chat.
I've just left it up, and we're lagging and.
That's funny. I don't even see a lag.
No, it's the audio that's lagging this time, actually.
I was just looking at all those
Why are
dates
your lips not matching?
on the
I
screen
was
there.
just going to ask you, what's the deal with this? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, this is a new announcement just announced today. Tickets are now up. The Fun and Faith comedy tour is back. Timmy has been hired to do all 20 dates. He'll be doing MC work as well as the Feud game show. It's really fun for couples. You don't have to worry about any F-bombs. There's 20 different cities all across Canada.
That's no fucking fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like...
Now, the question is, are you with them?
Saskatchewan. I'll be on the Ontario dates. I call them littles. They're not little anymore. They're like 14. The youngest is about to turn 14 and the oldest one's 18. So they're old now, but you still got to take care of them and, feed them and shit.
Yeah. That happens.
They can't feed themselves.
Someone's got to put the food in the house.
Yeah.
Put the food in the house. I already got to figure out how I'm going to do all that, considering my car. I just took it to the... I had two tires.
A life lesson?
Well, I do it for a couple days, but this is like 22 days that, Timmy's going to be on the road in February. So, but yeah, no, I had two tires blow in 4 months. So I decided to take my car to the mechanic. Now, I've been to this mechanic for like 8 years. I trust this mechanic. I took it there for an alignment because I figured that's why my car is pulling to the right. That's why my tires are blowing, right? Nope. The shocks in the back are completely empty. And the front control arms are about to disconnect from the vehicle. So,
cool.
I think it's time for
you need them
car.
to steer him, Derek.
Yeah, I kind of do. And the amount of money that it's going to take to fix the car is like half the cost of another car. And I've had to replace the shocks on this car every year. It just rotates front to back to front. Last year it was the front. This year I'm due for the back now. And I already fixed the back 2 years ago. So it's kind of like, hey, if you know of anybody, that knows that old lady or, that's trying to get rid of a vehicle, let me know because I need a deal.
I have to get winter tires still. I'm going to go down tomorrow, actually, and see how much they are.
I just bought a whole set for a fucking for a car I can't even drive.
Yeah, well, I don't want to spend the money on winter tires when I have all seasons.
Come on, the game. The hockey game's over.
See if you can go to a wrecker.
Hockey game's over.
Yeah,
I wonder if
the closest wrecker would be 3 hours away, Mary Jane.
Shit, you'd spend more on gas.
Yep.
Yeah, where's Lennie? The game's over. He says the closest wrecker is like 3 hours away.
Well, there's guys in town that have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I think we've got 4 different service guys here.
Hey, Darcy.
Yo. Yes.
Were you finished talking about pH? Oh, okay.
I don't think we ever finished the conversation that we ever have. I don't think.
Well, yeah, that's because somebody.
I am for the most part. I was all I was going to say was when you go to buy a pH tester, don't get one because you'll always be chasing your tail, calibrating the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Make sure you buy a half decent one. And there's brands out there,
and
Hannah and Blue Lab in Milwaukee. There's some of your better ones. If you haven't heard of the company before, good chance it's not a very good company.
And you can also turn around and get a nice wall-mounted one with the probes that
you don't let it
leave on 24/7. Connected to your phone so you can monitor it from your phone.
What are those worth?
Those are nice.
I don't know.
Blue
I
Lab
don't need to
Guardian
know. They're expensive.
Lines.
Yep.
Yeah, they're starting about $600.
Wow.
But it all depends on how much you value your garden.
To me, I mean, if I'm in the city driving around and I get an alert on my phone that my pH is dropped, there's nothing I can do about it until I get home anyways.
Exactly. What are you going to do?
Right.
Just, oh my God, my plants, I got to go.
Do I have an injector that will drop my pH for me or something? Or like 2 bottles?
No, we ain't that fancy.
pH up and down and no. So I mean, why would I want it going to my phone when I'm not going to get there until I get there?
Makes sense. And then you get home and it's like, it's
now
like,
if I had a big grow that I was monitoring, then I would want to have something that I could monitor the pH and EC, and then I could call somebody and say, go fix this.
Yes.
Or have injector set up that you can inject it and have it already fixed.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to set up a nice elaborate grow, you might as well set up so that you can have full control from your computer at home, just in case.
Yep.
But things will still happen, and you never know what'll happen. You could have a light
all the
blow.
time, anyways, and things keep happening. So
yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
No. Yeah, I mean, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best way to look at it. And that's with everything that you do in life is hope for the best, but always prepare for the worst.
That's a really pessimistic attitude, buddy.
Dun, 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 dun. What was that?
Huh? This lag is killing me, man.
Huh? What'd you say?
Huh?
I didn't notice. I don't see the lag as much.
It's not a seeing lag. It's the audio. I say something, then I've got to wait 5 seconds for Darcy to say something, and then you say something, and you're talking over to Darcy, and but we're all doing it. It's nothing we can do right now about it.
Yeah, and your lips aren't matching. Your lips ain't matching the
Not at
sound
all.
coming out of your face. Welcome to the internet. Yeah, welcome to the internet. I'm exactly right about something. See, that's the leg that we're getting from this. What the fuck was I exactly right about? My God, it doesn't happen often. I'd like to know what I was exactly right about, please. You have to tell me.
Everything.
I think my ice cream gummy mixture's kicking in.
Ice cream
MJ.
gummy mixture.
Yeah, I had gummies and ice cream.
Oh.
I'm doing test. I'm doing new product testing tomorrow.
I'm gonna make some butter.
Oh.
I'm making
Sadie's doing
medicated
new
dog
product
treat.
testing tomorrow.
Oh, I'm doing
Yeah.
product testing tomorrow
And
too.
Yeah, but my dog's got a sore foot, so I'm gonna do some product testing
Oh.
on my dog.
Oh,
Yes.
yay!
And
No, I'm just
I'm
doing
going.
product testing. For...
I'm
How
going to
is
make.
how is that?
No, I'm making dog gummies.
Gummies, dog gummies.
Right
What
on.
flavor?
Gummies for dogs.
Fish flavor?
Beef. Oh, D. It's D. D said it's
I
about
knew it
what
was D.
Al and I were talking about. All right, Al. What
Yeah.
was I right? What was I exactly right about?
I have no fucking idea.
No, I'm asking you.
I have no idea.
It's what we were talking about.
I
You're
know.
the other
It's
stoned
already
guy
gone.
on here.
We've already had that conversation. It's done. Sorry. Welcome to my life.
That's okay.
I have got myself.
No, dogs can't have regular gummies.
I can actually make a loop around my
I have a
fucking
dog
house
that loves those
in a
gummy
circle
chew
because
toys.
I do it all the time because I forget what I'm going into the kitchen for or going into the bathroom for, or yeah, gummy. Well, I'm interested to find out if they work or not because Rose is getting to the point where she needs some help too. So
Yeah. Well,
how old is your dog now?
She's
3, 4,
5.5. 5.5.
Wow, that
5.5.
Marcel, would that work on cats too?
So,
because I have a cat that could use it.
Sure.
Okay, but it's just less, right? Because my cat's
work
like
on
this
anything.
big.
But right, see, dogs can't have people's gummies, and it's because your people gummies have sugar, which dogs and a lot of them contain xylitol, which is toxic to your dog. These will have no sugar and taste like beef and possibly chicken.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat gummies that tasted like chicken.
Flavored gummies?
People could eat them too.
If they want
I'm
to,
thinking
sure.
beef flavor. Okay, but seriously, I make these things. I'll be the first one to eat one. Because if it's not fit for a human, then I'm not going to feed it to my dog.
You have fun with that. We know what
So
you're
I'll
doing.
try the first one.
He'll be like,
"Yeah, I'm eating dog treats. No, I'm eating dog treats. I don't need to eat a great big one. I need to taste it. I taste everything I cook as I'm cooking. I might as well taste this."
Please videotape that.
I think it might be fine. I was trying to think of like beef gravy flavored.
That would be all right.
But the gravy makes it a little harder.
Well, can't you get
What
powdered?
are you pointing at?
I was pointing at the comment, but can't you get powdered like OXO? OXO cubes is like powdered stuff. So I was laughing because it says detox right.
Bouillon cubes, yeah.
She says, you're right. You're exactly right. And then you said about what? And then she says, it's about what you and Al were talking about. I'm laughing because it's still very vague.
Yeah. We had that whole conversation already. You missed it.
I did. Sorry.
You'll have to rewind it when we're done.
No, it's okay. I'm good. I just thought it was funny. I missed it.
So no, I thought of a beef gravy flavor, but the problem with that is to get a gravy, you've got to add a starch to it, and I don't think I want to add a starch to the mix, like flour or something like that. Just not the healthiest option. So bone broth, boil up a bunch of bones and make a bone.
Eat the meat,
boil the
consommé. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sit, and my mom would we
Well,
were talking there before the show.
bust the
My mom
bones
would
open with a hammer.
my mom would make the jelly. I'd sit there and watch her make the jelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need the jelly. I just need the broth. The
Why wouldn't you use the jelly?
the consomme.
Yeah.
I don't think the jelly would bind well with the gelatin to set hard.
Mm. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think you might end up with really squishy gummies. I mean, I can try it. I'm going to have to try a few different things to perfect it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Once I perfect it, then yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's how all of my products came to be, is testing them on us when we needed them. Well, the dog needs a product, so time to make a test for the dog. My other dog treats this dog doesn't like.
Really? You
'Cause she's
know,
a picky bitch. Yeah, she's a picky bitch.
Steven doesn't like the stuff I got for it's stuff for both cats and dogs. It's for urinary care. But he likes the hemp tincture that I give him now and then. And Rosa gets, weed. But Steven will come right over and just sit there when I'm smoking a doobie and like his little nose is going, So I don't, I think I need treats more for Rosa than Steven. Right. Gummies would be good for cats, I would think.
Just hang on a second.
You don't necessarily want that hard stuff.
I see a flashlight in my backyard.
What? Is somebody lost?
I don't know.
You better go
Why
check
do I
that
see
out.
a flashlight in the backyard?
Maybe somebody shot.
Oh.
You get your deer.
It's the kids out there with their dogs, so I'm going to scare the crap out of them.
That's hilarious.
Hit the alarm. Oh, put on the loudspeaker. Wow, I feel good. That scares the shit out of people. It's fucking hilarious.
Actually, now that you said that, that'd be a really good song to wake up to in the morning.
Yeah. People are using that in reels and stuff to scare people. That's
okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I need some of those for our TikTok channel.
They're all over TikTok and Facebook Reels.
I'm struggling
TikTok
to find
channel.
My algorithm is all full of like conspiracy theories and
yeah, not mine. No, I got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, Diasin glass or something was the last thing they were showing me. It's some glass.
What was the poll I saw today? I've seen two. Oh yeah, I've seen two really cool polls this week. One was that 80% of the people surveyed believed in at least one conspiracy theory, which I figure is probably a little higher. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, I'd say.
And the second one was 3 out of 4 Canadians want the Prime Minister to step down.
Yes. Please do.
So 75% of our country wants our Prime Minister to step down now.
Yeah.
Not
Go
even
save
wait
your
for
marriage.
an election, just get out.
Go save your marriage. Leave us alone.
So if you're the Prime Minister of the country, how do you feel when you wake up and that's what the banners are going across on the news in the morning?
Well, he shouldn't have done some of the things he's done, I guess.
That's
how I feel about it.
Did you see the
or
most
do you
recent,
just assume that
petition?
some people don't like him?
A few. There's a few.
Did you see the last petition that's been brought out from a conservative member of the caucus? So I'll share it later, but Justin Trudeau, there's over 100 and something thousand signatures already of people that are asking. It's like they don't have faith in Trudeau. It's like a loss of
It's the
faith
same
or
thing that
something.
Marcel was talking about in the article.
Because it's like if they take it to the
Yeah,
court,
do you
it's
know what?
45 days or some shit, and they have to have a new election.
Yeah.
Like, I'll send it.
I don't. What, the article?
The actual petition link.
Other countries should be looking. Right. Everybody, like other countries should look very closely at what's happening in this country right now. Because you got to remember, this is the man that legalized cannabis.
Yep.
Right? So he was the first country to legalize it recreationally, tax the shit out of it. But that gave him enough power to I just got a text message from the kids saying that I was trying to make them shit themselves. When I hit them with my flashlight, it lights up my entire backyard. It makes it look like daytime out there.
Be like, no, it's more like you're trying to scare the shit out of me.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what in the hell was going on. I see a flashlight in my backyard.
Yeah, you
and
just
then all of a
shine
sudden
your
it
light at
goes
them.
out. I figured, okay, something sketchy's going on here.
Wow.
I don't know what
That's
the
a
hell
long
was it
link.
flashed.
That's not how I sent it.
That's a big link.
No, it came off of.
It just came off through the other link, through the Facebook way.
Wow.
Yeah, basically says that we've lost confidence in Justin
Well,
Trudeau.
Al shared it.
Yeah, it says we call on the House for a vote of no confidence. We
Yeah.
ask for an election 45 days after the vote if won.
I got
They're
it.
oh, you got it? You're going to show what it says? But it touches on the fact that, they're not acting in the best interest of the citizens. Goes on to say that because of his, his shit.
I wish I could get rid of the chat because it's blocking it. But I can't at the moment.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
really
basically
blocked,
because of Trudeau's actions, other countries don't even want to deal with us anymore.
Well, we're going to end up like Russia or something. I don't know.
China.
Yeah. It's like
Worse.
It's ridiculous. I'm so done with it. I don't even enjoy talking about it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just saying I don't either, but when I see something like this, I'm like, I'm going to throw my name on that because if we can, how else are we going to get this fucking guy out? We got to wait. We got to wait. All of us are going to starve and be homeless before then, or fucking on the assisted suicide list. Let's. I don't know.
It's
I don't think there should be an assisted suicide list. I think there should be drive-through facilities that basically walk-in clinics. Quinn, say I'm done. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Because people are getting fed up. Well, no, people are getting fed up. The rates of suicides is increasing. The rates of homicides are increasing. People are losing their shit left, right, and center. And then they got coerced into poisoning themselves. That hasn't helped a whole lot of fucking people. I met a guy the other night that after his second shot, he hasn't been able to do anything. He actually looked worse off than me. And that was a year ago. So, I mean, people are getting fed up and have had enough.
It's getting real scary though. I mean, my niece Emily is trying to be in a program at Toronto General in Toronto. So she went there on Tuesday, moved her stuff in. She's there for, I don't know, however long this treatment goes. They're trying to figure some things out. And She just was told today that she's being sent home because the hospital has a COVID outbreak, and that they will continue when it's done. Like, how does somebody get help medically when that shit's happening? You know, took me 3 visits.
Yeah, exactly.
Took me 3 fucking visits before I even saw a surgeon because of COVID for my shoulder. Right.
We had the ambulance here yesterday.
At your place?
Next door.
Oh, okay.
No, next door. I'm going to call her. She might be listening, but I'm going to call her an elderly lady fell down. And it honestly looked like a broken hip. And the amount of pain she was in. So called an ambulance and sent her to the hospital. And she was actually, I think, out of the hospital. She went there at about 4:30 and was out by around 8.
Yeah, I've taken Dean over to the
So she's been
hospital a few
x-rayed,
times,
seen,
and
checked
he's only
over, and sent
been
on her way.
In and out an hour here, and that's about it.
If she drove herself to the hospital at 8 o'clock, she'd still be sitting in the waiting room.
If I called an ambulance to go to the hospital here, I would pass it on the drive over to the hospital. Okay. It's that and the ambulance station is right beside the hospital. I'm just around the corner from the hospital, though. I could get there quicker walking, probably.
Yeah. No, but what's been happening in Nova Scotia, it's been really bad because our doctor shortages, our nurses shortages, our staffing shortages, right? Ambulance attendants cannot leave the patient until the doctor takes.
Find any regular doctors up here. So
yeah, but the ambulance attendants can't leave the patient until a doctor takes the patient. And some
that's right.
ambulance
That's what they
attendants
did with me when they took me.
4 and 5 hours.
Yep.
Yeah. So they've kind of changed it a bit where they've basically become back to priority right away just to get paramedics back out for other calls.
Yeah.
So there, if you're listening and you get hurt and you're sick and thinking about driving to the hospital, you bite the bullet and take the ambulance, man.
They're threatening
you'll
to
get
close
seen
the
a
ambulance.
lot quicker, so you don't tie up the paramedic.
They're threatening to close the ambulance.
But if you think you have COVID, don't call a fucking ambulance.
They won't pick you up.
There's my attitude. My attitude now is if you got COVID, it's self-inflicted.
Really?
Why?
Yep.
I don't even want to ask why.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Well, because the only people that are getting COVID now are the people that got vaccinated.
Thought you were going to say that.
Chrissy's brother's been vaccinated, had all of his boosters, and he's had COVID 6 times. Can't tell me it works.
I just hope it doesn't get to the point where, like, I remember when I called CAA, they wouldn't even give me a ride home. They wouldn't let you in the car with them, like in the cab.
Coming home from the hospital after being checked. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
I
people
hope
lost their shit. They're still losing their shit.
I hope it's not going to be another shutdown Christmas like winter, but unfortunately, it looks like in the cities, anyways, that's where things are going. You know, and it's.
I don't want to play Pandemic anymore.
Have we not?
I never liked board games.
Have we not learned what works and what doesn't?
I love the game.
They know masks don't help.
Play this
but yet they still push the masks. You know?
Well, yeah, of course. But here's a hint: if you can smell a fart through a mask, then the mask isn't stopping COVID.
No.
I used to just say, put on a mask and try and blow out a candle. You can do it. If you can blow a candle out wearing a
Well, of
mask,
course you
and the
can.
mask doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. It stops large particulate contaminations from entering and leaving your mouth. Spit.
And let's also
They're really
remind
good, so you
people,
don't spit into somebody's face.
let's
so
also
does this.
remind
Right?
people
But
that those masks that most people are buying from the corner store are not medical in any way. You want medical masks, you have to go to a medical supply place to get them.
Well, and then you had the issue of masks coming from China or other
Yes.
parts of the country
Yes.
or world
Yep.
that were not regulated or checked or anything. So we don't know what they're made out of. And now you're relying on the store owner
Yep.
to purchase top quality products
And
to sell
they
you.
just want to make money. They don't care. They just want to make money, those corner
Yeah.
stores. Right?
Well, I think we even ordered a pack of masks
everybody
off
wants to
Wish.
make money.
Those probably couldn't have been very good.
Really?
Anyways, we've lost Darcy.
Yeah,
No, Darcy's
gone.
back, isn't he?
No, Dale's back.
No, Darcy's gone. Dale's back. We lost Dale for a minute there too, I think. They're probably having a snowstorm.
Something's going on tonight with the thing, I think, with the lagging and the...
It's the internet. Let's blame it on the internet.
Yeah. It's the internet's fault.
Well, I think
it happens, man. It happens.
We should think about saying goodnight then.
Good night then.
Yeah. So everybody's leaving anyway, so
might as well.
Because, well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty dark out.
Let's do that.
Announcing CBGTV's Bud Break book. Get your copy now. Detailed strain reviews. Every purchase supports the ongoing efforts of CBGTV. Available from Amazon and at cbgtv.com or scan the QR code. Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at cbgtv.com.